We're going to explore how teachers can use a really useful tool called Canva. Now, Canva is a graphic design tool with AI integrated. It allows you to edit photos, create presentations, create videos, create websites, posters, and all sorts of different types of multimedia. To access Canva, you go to www.canva.com. There are a few versions, but the ones I want to talk about are the freemium version, which allows you a certain amount of access, but doesn't allow you access to all the premium features. There's quite a lot that it doesn't allow you access to, but you can still do lots with it, even so. And then there's another version, Canva for Education, which is also free, and it has much more features. So that's the one that's going to be used in the demonstrations here. So let's get cracking then. We're going to jump straight into Canva, and we're going to use the Canva AI tool to generate a presentation. So as before, we need to ensure we have a really solid prompt. So we've got the role specified here. So it's saying you are a teacher in an English secondary school. So make sure we've got the task, create a presentation for a 50-minute English lesson on the poem Invictus, with a context for a year 9 class who've not read the poem before, and then a bit more specifics then around including lesson objectives, including the poem itself, analysis of the excerpts of the poem, and allowing students and teachers to discuss the themes of the poem. So those are the things we want to incorporate into our presentation. So when we're happy with our prompt, we can then submit that and let the generative AI do its thinking. And in so doing, what it will do, it will generate quite a few different options for us to go with. So it'll generate 3, 4, 5 different presentations that we can choose between. So that we'll just let it do its thing, and so you can see that it's generated 2, so generate 2, 3, so it's generated quite a few different versions of the same presentation. So we're going to go with a blue theme. Let's say we're happy with that one. Let's say again, if you're not happy with necessarily the content, you can rephrase and reformat. But what we can do then is you can edit the presentation as well. If you are sort of happy with it, you can edit it further. You can add your bits in. I mean, it's not perfect. There are things missing. For example, we asked it to put the poem in, and it hasn't done that, so you might have to do that yourself. But at least it gives you a starting point, and it will save time if you're trying to put together a lesson. If you already have a starting point from which you can build your presentation and build your resources from, it's a really good place to start from if there's no existing resource already in place for that to be achieved. Okay, so the next example I want to give is using a more conventional approach to using this tool. So we're going to just go to create a presentation. And one of the things it does have that's really powerful is it has a good set of templates. We've got some templates already created here. And we're going to put together now maybe a presentation for a science lesson. So we'll choose a template there for the science lesson. And if we're happy with that one, we'll go with that. And we'll choose that. And when we've done that, we can add some pages to it, add some slides, and you can then go to the library of elements. It has a huge, massive library of elements that you can use. So let's just say we want to look for a test tube and a graphic of a test tube. We can do that. We can put that in. Then we can choose the one we want, and then we can just simply drag that into our presentation. So there's no need for us to go around searching for images and pictures that we need. We can also add photos. So we're going to now get a photo of a student maybe holding a test tube. So we'll look for that. And then we get a photo up, and then we can just simply drag that onto our presentation. Now, it could be that there's no photo exists of what you're looking for, right? In this situations, there is one. What you can do then is you can use an AI tool within Canva to generate an image for you. So let's have a look at that, how we can do that. So what you need to do is you need to go to the left-hand side and scroll right down to Magic Media, and then you put your prompt in there. So we're going to ask it to generate a picture of a student holding a test tube, and then it will generate it'll generate a selection of images for us. So after it'll think for a little while and generate a selection of images for us that we can then put into our resource, into our presentation, so you can see there. Now, obviously, it's probably better to use a real photograph than an AI generated one. But as I said, sometimes you may not always have a picture of what you're after within its library. So that's it. A couple of examples there to help you get started. That just touches on all the features really that it has. There's so much more that it can do. So you can now write your own prompt for creating a lesson resource using Canva, or you can use it in a more sort of conventional way. Remember, to access it, you go to www.canva.com.